people? TroopzTV back again. Round 5 of the fixtures kicks off tomorrow. You get me? At Stamford Bridge. Chelsea entertain Liverpool. Chelsea got the draw last weekend away at Swansea, 2-2. Courtois' error for the penalty, in my opinion. I think their Swansea goal that gave them the lead shouldn't have been allowed. I think that was a foul kick. We'll have to be honest, you know what I mean? I'm not biased, you know what I mean? So yeah, Costa got the equaliser. It was a good bicycle kick where he wanted to put the cushion on his. You get me? Obviously, voice is a bit wounded. You get me? PSG and all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, Liverpool. Great performance last weekend. 4-1 win at home against Leicester City. Mane with a good goal. Lallana's goal was techers, unbelievable techers. Like, he never had end product, you understand? And it looks like Klopp has been working on that game, that part of his game, you know what I mean? Because his end product is really improved, you know what I mean? Got a goal for England, and now we got this stunner as well, you know what I mean? And obviously Firmino got 2 as well, 2 good finishes. This one, big game. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Liverpool mashed them up last year. Klopp's, I think it was Klopp's first game. I think it was Klopp. I'm not too sure about that. Might have been his first or second game, but I remember they beat them. Was it 4-2 at the Bridge? So I don't know, man. You know what? Yeah, I think it'll be a draw. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 in this one. But obviously, put your comments below in it. The next game goes down at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City entertain Bournemouth. Obviously, City won the derby last weekend. Pep won the tactical battle. Bravo had a bit of a... I don't even know the word to use for that debut, you know what I mean? We're just going to call it a bit of a banana skin debut, you get me? He just about got through it. Pep said that it was one of the best performances he's ever seen a goalkeeper do. Fam, that weren't really impressive, you know what I mean? Because he was flapping at the ball like a seagull. He was just there like you get me? City got life last week, you know what I mean? Because Man United did come into that game, but this is about Manchester City anyway. But they did get the win, sorry. Iheanacho with the winner. No Aguero again, and it shows that how good this City team is. Because I thought Aguero being out of that game would have swung it in United's favour, but you can see that when Pep puts someone into a position to fill, that player's coming in and he's got a point to prove, because that player's thinking to himself, you know what, if I get in there and do something correct and perform in the right way, I have a chance of playing in this team. You know what I mean? Because Pep ain't the kind of manager to play you because of your name. You know what I mean? He plays you on your performances, on your ability. You know what I mean? You can have the biggest name in the world, but he'll still get rid of you. Look what he done to Joe Hart. You know what I mean? Names don't mean nothing. It's how you perform. And Iheanacho performed excellently. You know what I mean? Obviously, they won yesterday as well. I think that was a 4-0 or 5-0 or something? They're just smacking up man left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? City look very dangerous. Obviously, the opponents, Bournemouth, got a 1-0 victory last week at home against West Brom. Callum Wilson with a cheeky little back heel, you know what I mean? He looks like he's coming into form after that long injury that he had. That was very unlucky. Wilshere made his debut, came off the bench, you know what I mean? Maybe Jack will start this game, I hope he does, you know what I mean? Because this is the kind of game that I want to see him playing, you know what I mean? This is the reason why we allowed him to go to a Premiership club, so he can still go up against the biggest teams in Europe, like Man City, you know what I mean? But obviously, this one, you can't see nothing but a City win in this one, so I'm going to have to go for a 3-0 City win on this one. But obviously, put your comments below in it, my people. The next game goes down at the King Power Stadium. The champions, Leicester City, take on Burnley. Obviously, Leicester got smacked up last weekend, 4-1 at Anfield, you know what I mean? I don't know why Schmeichel come out that far. Why are you coming out that far? You stay in your box, yeah? There was no need for that. You thought what? You thinking Manuel Neuer or something, blood? You're not on them levels there, you know? Don't get gas because you got a Premier League title, you get me? So just relax on that one, yeah? But then obviously, great mental strength because they went to Club Brugge, their first ever Champions League game, got the 3-0 win, away from home, you know what I mean? Fans must be buzzing. I think that's great from Leicester, you know what I mean? Because it shows mental strength, you know what I mean? To get smacked up 4-1 at Liverpool, you know what I mean? Which is, you could say that's one of Leicester's rivals now, you know what I mean? Because they've risen to that kind of, they've risen a level, you know what I mean? And then to go to Bruges and win 3-0 so convincingly. Mark Albrighton got their first ever goal in the Champions League, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a Leicester kind of goal from like when they was in the Championship and whatnot. Long throw in, flick on, Albrighton's come back post and put it in. But then Riyad Mahrez shows his worth, you know what I mean? Stunner of a free kick, straight in that top corner. Then Vardy does what he does best on the run. He's gone through, gone to go around the keeper. Keeper's took him out clean. Mahrez put away the penalty. That's his first penalty that he's put away in his last 4, because obviously he's missed 3 out of the last 4. You know what I mean? So that was good for Mahrez to get his confidence back from the penalty spot. Burnley last weekend got a 1-1 draw at home. Defoe got the goal for them. I don't know, man, this kind of game, I think Leicester, their confidence is back. The fans will be up for it now, you know what I mean? They got their first Champions League game over and done with. They got their first 3 points as well, you know what I mean? They never drew the game, they won the game. So the King Power was the atmosphere is gonna be a madness on Saturday, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to go for a Leicester win on this one, so I'm gonna have to go for a 2-1 Leicester win. But obviously, put your comments below if you feel different. The next game on the agenda is at Vicarage Road. Watford entertained Man United. Watford got a great win last weekend at the Olympic Stadium against West Ham. Coming from 2 goals down to win 4-2. You know what I mean? They really needed that performance and they really needed them points, because when I was at Watford away a couple of weeks ago, a lot of the fans weren't really happy with the manager, you know what I mean? Hopefully this has put some faith in the manager and they can see that the manager has a plan for them, you know what I mean? But great performance from Watford last weekend. Man United lost to Derby. Pogba was nowhere to be seen. Zlatan got a great goal, but everyone knows I rate Zlatan. But Pogba, where were you, blood? 100 million, fam, and you're getting bossed by a man like flipping Fernandinho and them, man. They're 25 million, like, come on, blood. You understand? Then you wanna, come on, blood. Like, all you wanna do is dab, fam. Like, dab, 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 dab. Like, where was your dab last week, man? You know what I mean? Your dab dead. Your dab got lock off. You understand? Lock off, my you. You understand? Then obviously, while we were filming this, they lost again to Feyenoord. You know what I mean? And Pogba played again. Where was your dab? Huh? Where's your dab, blood? Where's your dab, blood? Where's your dab, blood? Where's your dab, blood? You know what I mean? Ham rolls. Ham rolls, blood. Mourinho love run up your mouth, blood. You're not running your mouth now, are you? You mad about, I don't want to be in the Europa League. Because you can't win the Europa League, that's why you don't want to be in there, Bridget. You understand? But obviously, this game, you know what I mean? Let's get back, let's get back to be real now, innit? You know what I mean? Enough of the banter and whatnot. Oh man, you know what I mean? Mourinho, you know how to make me happy in the blood. You really know how to make me happy, you understand? But yeah, back to this one, you know what I mean? I think Man United will get the win, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. You know what I mean? A wounded animal is a dangerous animal, you know what I mean? Man United is a wounded animal right now. Something tells me that Pogba's gonna probably shine in this match, you know what I mean? He's had 2 poor performances, so he has to have 1 good one now. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 United win on this one, you know what I mean? Because you know Mourinho's boring and whatnot, loves to park his, get a 1 goal and park his boss. But if you feel different, obviously put your comments below in it. And finally, the last game on the agenda goes down at White Hart Lane. Tottenham entertained Sunderland. Tottenham, great performance last weekend. I hate saying that, man. I swear to God I hate saying that. But it was a great performance, you know what I mean? Battered Stoke 4-0. You don't see a lot of teams go there and win 4-0, you know what I mean? Obviously City went there and won 4-1, but City's game was not a 4-1. It was 2-1 in the 80th minute, and then Stoke were coming onto them and City just broke and got down number 2. This was actually a 4-0, like. This was a murder. And I'm sure Tottenham gave Stoke a battering last season as well, you know what I mean? But obviously, Tottenham yesterday, you know what I mean? What happened yesterday, blood? What happened, fam? You get me? You man are getting very excited about Champions League. We get excited for you can't even win, blood. I remember you man were cussing about Monaco. Who lost to Monaco now, blood? Who lost, blood? I saw some footage as well when Falcao was going back to the dressing room, and there was some Tottenham fans saying Chelsea reject, and then Falcao was like 2-1, Colombia 2-1, you know 2-1, baby, 2-1, mate, you know 2-1, mate. You know what I mean? About Tottenham fans were in Wembley at from 1 PM, you ham rolls, blood. Getting 1 PM. What are you going there so early for, blood? Taking pictures of them things. You want to waffle about Arsenal taking selfies. I see Tottenham man taking selfies, blood. But Harry Kane and man there. Get out of here, blood. Ham rolls, fam. Get out. Man, you didn't even get out the group, blood. You understand? Dead team, which is Pigeon Stadium. That's why you're playing Wembley, blood. Your Pigeon Coop Stadium. Get out of here, blood. Red Army, yeah? You're done already. Obviously, though, Sunderland, you know what I mean? Moist. Or should I say moist? You get me? Man is moist. Got peppered last week 3-0 at home against Everton. Lukaku got a hat-trick in 11 minutes. You know what I mean? Maybe he is worth 60 million. I personally don't think Lukaku is worth 60 million. I'd pay 50 tops for Lukaku, but you know what I mean? I think this game, Tottenham, Sunderland, they're both on a downer at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm happy that one of them's on a downer, you get me? But obviously Sunderland are also on a downer. But I'm gonna have to go for a Tottenham win on this one, sorry to say, but I think Tottenham will get the win. I think it'll be a 2-0 win because Moyes is just dead and there's no hope with Moyes, you know what I mean? But obviously, if you feel different, put your comments below. And obviously, if you ain't subscribed to TroopzTV, make sure you subscribe. It's your boy Troops, and I'm out.